In a world shaped by imagination, where every block placed is a destination and every horizon is a possibility, there exists a place that does not demand attention, but quietly calls to it. Far beyond the familiar paths, beyond the noise of building, mining, and crafting, the land begins to soften. The air grows still, not empty, but listening, as if the world itself is holding a secret. And then it appears, a wishing well, not loud, not grand in the usual sense, but deeply intentional, stone, weathered as if time itself has touched it, wood, worn smooth, like countless hands have rested here before. This is not just a structure, it feels older than the world around it, as if it was never built, but remembered into existence. A place that has always been here, waiting to be found. At its centre, a dark opening, a simple void leading downwards, but it does not feel empty. It feels aware, like something beneath the surface is listening to every thought that falls into it. And so you approach. The sound of the world seems to fade as you draw closer, footsteps becoming softer, breathing becomes slower. Even time feels uncertain here. You look into the well, and for a moment there is only stillness. No reflection, no answer, no movement, just depth, endless, quiet depth. This is where wishes are not spoken loudly, but felt. Because not every desire is something that you say out loud. Some are only ever meant to exist briefly in the mind. And yet, people still come here. Not because they believe in magic, but because they believe in meaning. In the idea that thoughts can be placed somewhere outside of themselves, even if only for a moment. And maybe that's what this well truly is. Not a machine for wishes, but a mirror for reflection. A place where you drop something small, a thought, a hope, a memory, and for a second it is no longer only yours. There are times when the world feels heavy, when everything moves too fast, when thoughts overlap, when silence feels louder than sound. And in those moments, people search for places like this. Quiet places, simple places, built places, places that do not ask anything from you. You do not have to be strong here. You do not have to perform. You do not have to explain. You simply exist behind something that understands stillness. And so you wonder, if you were to make a wish here, what would it be? Not the kind you say out loud for others, but the kind you only admit to yourself. The kind that changes shape depending on the day. You stay a little longer, not because you expect an answer, but because leaving feels like breaking a moment that hasn't finished speaking yet. And then something shifts, not in the world, but in you. A small reminder that even thoughts can be placed gently somewhere without needing to be solved immediately. The well remains unchanged. It does not react. It does not respond. It simply continues, as it always has. Patient, still, present. And maybe that is its purpose. Not to grant wishes, but to hold them safely for a moment, so you do not have to carry all of them at once. Eventually, you step back. The world feels a little clearer than before. Not because anything was fixed, but because something was set down. The wishing well remains behind you now, quiet again, waiting again, as if it will always be here for whoever needs a place to think, or to hope, or simply just to pause. And as the distance grows between you and it, you realise something simple. Not every wish is meant to be answered. Some are meant to be understood. And so it stands, a simple well in a vast world, holding echoes of everything that was never spoken aloud. And as you step away from the wishing well, its silence stays behind you, not as something distant, but as a reminder that even quiet places can hold meaning if you take the time to notice them. Whatever you left there, a thought, a hope, a moment you didn't fully understand yet, it stays where it was placed, safe, still, waiting. If you want to be a part of what comes next, there's a link to the Discord in the pinned comment below. And please remember, speaking up is strength. Even the quietest voices still matter, even when it feels like no one is listening. Until next time, may you find places, both in worlds like this and in your own,